Hello and welcome, everybody. Glad to have you all here. Yeah, Bob, I was wondering what happened. I was looking at your stream and then it started swirling on me. So I appreciate you being here, Bob Kaler's Aquatics. I'm going to run through the list and say hello to everybody. Had some people hanging out before the stream started. Tampa Tom, first in, and hold on just a second. Y'all aren't hearing it, but I'm getting the audio feedback in my headset. There we go. Well, let me go up a whole lot further, but we've got Rack from the River Life in here, Fish Tropic, Gina French. I'm excited that you're getting that golden nugget pleco. I love those things. Hat Trick Farm, hello. John Larson, scrolling through here. Phil Emerson, hello and welcome. UPS are living the dream. Glad to see you. Dragon Lair, Chewy LTD. Looks like we got a couple people rolling in, screen jumping on me. Cody's and Dan Slee. Don't think I missed anybody when it jumped. Danikin Aquatics, hello and welcome. Stumpy's Fish Tanks. So as some of you already know, this will be the last nocturnal feeding show streaming off of my channel, Fish Room Fever. So if you're not subscribed to that guy right there, Chattanooga Ed, subscribe to him because we're going to be moving the show over to his channel as of next week. Hopefully build up his channel a little bit. I think that'll be awesome. And it's more than deserved on his part. He's an amazing co-host and just a great guy. Zen Ginger with the $2 super sticker saying she is here with Big Red Arrow. Thank you very much, Zen. I need to talk to you because I've got a package I want to send out your way, but I want to make sure that you've got room for the things I want to send you. So I will get with you later on and we'll get that figured out. Cyclist 23 in the house, Brandon N, Big J's Fish Keeper, GRB Aquatics, Recon 338, Maria Z, World Aquarium, Singapore. Lots of people. Hello, glad to have y'all here. Yeah, thank you, Recon, for throwing up the link for Chattanooga Ed. Bob saying, who's Ed? Your employee, Bob. Your employee of the month every month. Hey, Carrie, Science Gal Aquatics. Speaking of which, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Carrie's going to be joining us on the Saturday Night Fever live stream. So I've not scheduled it as of yet, but be sure to come check us out for that. That's going to be fun. I've not got to talk to her one-on-one yet on a stream, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm glad you added on a stream yet, because yeah. I was about to say, I haven't talked to her yet. I'm just planning on her being there.
Yeah, no, we've spoken regarding it, but I've not actually gotten time to have a chat with her, talk fish stuff. We just got it set up. Still working on a couple other people. Sean Peck earlier in his live stream mentioned that he'd like to come back on, so we'll have to get that scheduled. Of course, Secret History Living in Your Aquarium, a couple other people I'm talking to. So lots of stuff coming up. So just stay on the lookout for that. Let's see, make sure I've not missed anything. Looking good. So I was going to have another camera set up on the African cichlid tank tonight, but I was not happy with the quality coming through. Somebody feel free to beat up Nightbot. So I pulled that off. So you're stuck with Ed and myself. Bob Kaler's Aquatics with the $1 super sticker, the drooling smiley face there. Thank you very much, Bob. And Lefty3213A with the $2 super chat, hashtag Project Poecilia. We are going to talk some more about that tonight. Go check out Lefty on Instagram. I don't know if Lefty's gotten a video up on YouTube or not yet. I know we were talking about some YouTube stuff. Lefty let me know. But Lefty's been doing a whole lot of Project Poecilia posts with some absolutely gorgeous guppies. And then Mr. Zen with the massive $20 super chat saying, hello, fellows. Mr. Zen, hello. I appreciate that very, very much. Always glad to see you with or without the super chats, but that always puts a little giggle in me when I see this. Thank you, sir. World Aquarium Singapore, some super nice angels there, Fish Room Fever. Thank you very much. I did take the breeding pairs that just decided they were never going to raise their fry and stick them back in here. So a couple more that haven't been on the streams lately are back in there. I'm planning to rescape this tank either tomorrow or the next day. I've got everything I need to do it. I just need to get the gravel rinsed, and then it'll look a little different, hopefully, for Saturday's stream. Danikin saying you're quiet. I think that's because I haven't shut up just yet. That's what I'm good at.
Monica said hi to both of us and said that her Japanese, oh gosh, it just jumped. For Japanese blue, guppies had fry today. Fry today.
Ooh, very, very nice.
That is awesome. I've got some Japanese blue tail guppies. I wonder if they look similar.
I'm going to need...
Or if they're maybe they're a full body blue.
I'm going to need either some Instagram pictures or a YouTube video or something on those, Monica. You'll have to let me know. Tag me so that I can share it out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Someday we'll have to do a guppy swap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lefty3213A says, I do not yet. Work finally gave me an assistant, so not yet, but very soon, hopefully by Monday, there will be something up. Fish Room Fever. Also, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you jumped on this Project Posilia train, if you will, because it's all about community. That's the point of it, is, you know, strengthening and growing our community through our love of live bearers. So appreciate you helping spread that out. If anybody else wants to jump on there, we'd love to have it kind of
you should
grow.
get Priscilla to be the president. So it's President Priscilla Project.
Yeah, say that 10 times fast. Yeah.
I can't even say it one time slow.
GRB Aquatics asking if I've had any luck with the snowball plecos pairing up yet. Not that I have seen. I'm only checking the caves maybe once every 2 weeks or so at this point, just because I don't want to bother them a whole lot. I've kind of been torn. I'm considering moving them back here, those snowball colony, but at the same time, I don't want to disturb them and reset that kind of settling process or settling cycle for them. So I'm kind of torn. As much as I'd like to have them back here and have a bigger tank, at the same time, you know, I don't want to disrupt them if they're, you know, kind of getting there. A wise man once told me to put them in a tank and leave them alone for up to 2 years, and I should see something. So I may just leave them where they're at.
Now, I don't know. Has anybody seen Mr. Fish Sir in chat?
I saw him earlier, but not in here thus far.
He said he was going to try to stay up late enough to hang out with us, but he had a question for you. If you guys send me questions on Facebook, I'd be happy to, you know, send them to James or just bring them up for us all to talk about. But he was asking if James ships any of his plecos.
So right now I do not have anything to ship out, minus one or two things that I'm sending to like people I've already promised you to, you know, earlier in the year / end of last year. I don't have any fish for sale or anything like that at the moment.
It's probably tough for just a normal guy to get into it, because you'd have to buy the bags and, you know, get it all down.
Well, and that part I'm not worried about. I keep all my fish bags and sanitize them and dry them out. So I've got a lot of fish bags, and I keep all of my shipping materials that I get fish shipped to me in. But I just, you know, I was kind of waiting on things to warm up, and ended up LFS needed a bunch of stuff. So I've taken stuff to them several times throughout, and now that it's time that I could ship some things out, a lot of that stuff's gone already, or it's been promised to other people here on the channel, other YouTubers or members or just people of the community. Real quick, before I get any further, I want to say thank you, Rack, the River Life, $10 super chat, # Project Posilia Fund. Brother, I appreciate that. I've mentioned it before, but Rack is actually where that all started. I like to say when it comes to ideas, I'll be talking to him, and he's kind of like the guy that invents fire. And I'm standing here with a can of gas, and I just want to pour it on there and see what happens. So he's the one that started the Project Posilia process or thought or concept, if you will. And then I think we snagged the name from the Zen Ginger in River Life stream. And if somebody can get a link for that live stream of Rack's, I believe it's got these galore is what's on the thumbnail, if I'm not mistaken. But I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Rack, for that super chat. Lots of, okay. Make sure I haven't missed
Hey, Shy's here. Mrs. Fish Room Beaver.
She is
Or
learning.
Mrs. Fish Beaver. I guess it's not Fish Room. I guess Fish Room would be your first name.
Yeah. She got lucky because she's not having to answer all the questions that would be in the chat if I had gotten that cichlid tank on the feed tonight. See what we got here. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
After this, I can't wait to watch Bob's live stream. I watched the first half, but I had to head out so we could talk about this and get this hour set up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out the rest of Bob's stream. Pretty cool.
Absolutely. Bob Keller asking if I'm shipping fish now. To select people, I am. Some people on here had asked about some things, and so I'm shipping some stuff out. Kind of as a trial process also to see how that goes. I've only shipped a couple things out previously, but in no means am I in business. Multi-tank addiction, though, however, is, or at least it's going to be here in a week or so, says, Fisherman Fever, my bags came today. Glad to hear it, Chris. I hope that does extremely well for you. I think you did a phenomenal job with your website and getting lots of pictures up. Kind of like Rob at Flip Aquatics was saying, you know, you can look at the pictures on there and tell that these fish are coming from a hobbyist, and they're, you know, not from an importer or whatnot. So great job on that, and I hope you're extremely successful.
Well, thank you, James, for watching us and knowing that he said that.
Oh, yeah, I lurk a lot more than people realize. I just I hate to come into a stream, say something, and then go back to lurking, and I miss, you know, 5, 10 hellos, or even one hello. I feel bad if I do that. So a lot of times I just stay silent if I can't actively participate. But Chewy LTD says, oops, chat jumped on me. I'll grab it again. There we go. World Aquarium Singapore Fisherman Fever has some very interesting fish, both salt and fresh. I do have the one salt tank. I'm thinking of setting up for Saturday night's stream to stream in front of that tank. It depends on how willing the children are to cooperate, because that tank's in the living room. But we may give that a go, so that we can have the Teslata eel in the background.
Hey, Blake's Aquatics is in. Blake had a stream last night. It was this morning. I think at 3 p.m. or a.m. our time, and it was an amazing stream. He talked about dwarf cichlids, but he gave the Fahrenheit, which I really appreciate because, you know, normally I don't want to say foreigners, other people from outside of America, like this North or United States, because Canadians might say Celsius also, but for us Americans, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. We got Larry D's Tanks and More checking in with the hello to Fisherman Fever and Ed. Glad to see you, Larry. That 75 is looking nice. I saw that video the other day when you posted it, so looking good. While we're talking about other channels, I do want to say Petzotics, Diego, he's got a great channel. We were actually live on his channel the other day, so if you missed that, go back and check it out. But he also has an online store with, fish products, cats, dogs, birds, all that stuff. So go check him out. I think the promo code has ended. I think it was only for 24 hours, but I'm sure we could get with him again and work something out. He's done promo codes with us in the past on several occasions. So go check him out. We can get you a discount.
Yeah, I spent about $150 on his thing after the discount yesterday. Yep. So I really appreciate it.
He hooked me up on a nice fish food order. So that's coming at some point. It's shipped out, but there'll be a video coming soon on that when it comes in the mail. We've got lots of good channels in here. I hate to not.
Oh, I know. Every single person here has a great channel.
They do. They do. I'm sitting here looking. I'm like, wow, is there anybody that doesn't? Lots of wonderful creators in here. I encourage you to check a lot of these people out because there's just so much cool stuff I see going on. World Aquarium Singapore said it best. Lots of aquarium people in here. Let's see what we got going on. Chewy LTD says, hey, some of us Canadians at Fisherman Fever still translate to Fahrenheit. LOL. It changed on us in my last year of high school. Absolutely. That's where I was going with that specifically was Blake's Aquatics, which doesn't relate back to the Canadian, but I captured my thought process again. Blake's Aquatics, I think he is almost to 1,000. So go check him out. He's got an awesome channel. I'm just returning full circle in my thought process to where you were at previously, Ed.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, he's got some awesome stuff going on there. Thank you, Zen Ginger, for posting the Pet Zodics website link. I appreciate that.
I see 4 people or 5 people that I'm going to be mailing stuff out tomorrow morning in the chat. And there's a couple more, but I don't want to say what I'm mailing because I'll end up mailing a lot more and I don't have enough money to do that.
And there is Brad, Mr. Fish, Fish, sir, in the chat. Hey, Brad, glad to see you.
I'll be mailing him a package tomorrow.
So I want to ask you, Ed, I talked to you about it before the stream, but I'm planning on participating in Rachel O'Leary's scrap art challenge with scaping a tank using nothing but what you already own, pre-opened bags of substrate, nothing new pretty much. And I think you said you're going to give it a go.
Well, what size tanks is this? And I don't know any of the.
There wasn't any specification that it had to be a certain size tank. In fact, Joey, the king of DIY, actually built his tank that he did it in using scrap pieces of acrylic. So I thought that was funny. The way that he did it, like he didn't have the needle for the glue, and he didn't prep everything, so it actually leaked, and he didn't fill it all the way. But he put a little water in there, and then it started leaking. But his turned out to be like a 14 point something gallon. I think I'm going to use a 20 long. I've already got on that rack the one aquarium I did the live stream with Father Fish, and we created the dirted tank. So I'm thinking of going like YouTuber themed on that rack almost. Like I'm going to put one of the 20 longs as the Rachel O'Leary challenge tank. And the next time something like that comes along, I'll put it on that rack. So it ends up being just a rack of different YouTuber related aquariums and projects.
Well, okay. Now, how James kind of explained this to me before, it's whatever you have bought in or prepared or plants that you already have. Now, she already has every plant in the world.
And that's what she mentioned. She's like, I'm extremely lucky on that note.
But I bet you I have 10 different plants because I've been stocking up because I'm preparing to literally scape about 20 tanks. So I have, I literally have rocks all around me all the time and wood and all sorts of stuff, all that. So, I'll be game. I'll go for it and I'll do it for sure. Maybe I'll get a shout out from her.
Absolutely. She did say anybody that does it, tag her on her Instagram so she can add you to her playlist on her channel of people that do it. So I'm curious to know if anybody in the chat is going to do it. Given that we have so many creators in here, is anybody else going to be making a video of doing the Rachel's Tank Challenge? So make sure I didn't miss anything else. Sorry, go ahead, Ed.
They've got about a 20-second delay between us and our chat. But maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be my Blackwater tank.
There you go.
Because I've been wanting to do a Blackwater. I haven't decided what fish to put in the Blackwater. I think I'd rather do a fish that's not as pretty. That the colors aren't going to pop. Man, you know what? I think I'll do that. I've got a big tank. Well, not a 20-gallon that have nothing but Petco guppies that I've been able to mass produce, and they've grown really big. I added a few Delta females to it that are a lot bigger to kind of bring them up. Because if you go to Petco, they're runnier, and now they're pretty huge fish or guppies. Maybe I'll put a whole bunch of them in there, or I'll do a Blackwater with them. They've almost a red-orange tail.
Nice. Now let me ask you: are you going to jump on with us in this community spreading event and go Project Pacillia?
Okay. I've heard you guys talk about this a couple times, but it's about live bears?
Live bears. Now I'm sticking mostly to guppies and endlers, but it can include, other live bears, anything in the Pacillia family. I think I just screwed that up.
What's it require? Because I'm already pretty much in a live bear only guy.
I know you are. Basically, it's just jumping on and throwing the hashtag on there to show that you're a part of the community building movement. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I will do a hashtag.
You're
Is
going to
that
ask
on
me how to do
Instagram or
that, aren't you?
something?
Well, it is on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube.
Oh, I have both of those.
You got basically any platform.
Oh, Edgar's here. I always like seeing Edgar. I like seeing my name in different forms.
Very nice. And Dan Slee did say, Ed, remind me when you are ready in the fish room for Plant and Moss care package.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'm going to be setting up tanks all this week and next week. So anytime is awesome. So, James, do you have his email or how to send him my address?
I could send it to him on Instagram, or if you want to get with him on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'll send you my address. That would be so cool.
See, most people don't know Ed is my co-host, but I'm his assistant. So I work for this guy.
Yeah, whenever I need something, I just ask him to do it for me. I'm terrible.
Lefty3213 A says, sounds like it could be fun. Fish Room Fever, I'll have to look into it. That was in reference to the Rachel O'Leary challenge. Sandy Dowdy says, I'm going to do the challenge tomorrow. Awesome. Glad to see some other people in here going to do it. Chewy LTD says, Molly's winking smiley face at Fish Room Fever. I don't think I missed anything else.
Maybe we should do a month of it. How about Project Priscilla? Or not, did I say that right?
Priscilla, but yeah.
Priscilla. Put one picture of a live bear every day for every day of the month of May.
See, you're catching on there. This past 2 weeks has kind of been the trial run, and then May is going to be the month. So yes, absolutely. That's where we're going with that. I like your thinking. Headed the same direction. World Aquarium Singapore was asking, where can I see the challenge? About 7 lines above you, the Zen Ginger posted, no, that's Rachel O'Leary's Instagram. But Rachel O'Leary is someone that sent the challenge out. Sorry, Ed, go ahead. I just wanted to answer that real quick.
Maybe we could set up a page on Facebook.
Possibly. I'm hoping we can get the hashtag trending just to show how deep our community runs, if you will.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Monica has to get on that since she has those blue Japanese guppies.
Monica, speaking of, says, I have to go check the front porch for packages. LOL. Be right back. Multi-Tank Addiction says, just for the weekend, I have a coupon for you guys at Fish Room Fever. Coupon FRF10 for 10% off your order on my site. Chris, thank you very much. That's super kind of you to do that. If we can get somebody to throw up Multi-Tank Addiction site, let me ask, because I'm sure somebody will pose this question if they haven't already. Is that specifically on your livestock, or is that including your art? Just for clarity, because I know people are going to want to know. But very awesome of you to do that, Chris. I appreciate it, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I see a super chat from the Zen Ginger. I just haven't quite made it there yet. Dragon Lair says, I'll only join if I can get wild guppies. Oh, I would love some wild guppies. I have no wild guppies.
Yeah, I was trying to get them out of Joseph when he was over there on the island, but I think he had so much pressure going on in his normal life, he wasn't able to do it, which was a bummer. So, oh well. Someday I'll get some somewhere.
The Zen Ginger with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Zen. I appreciate that. Another awesome content creator, by the way, says Mollies and Guppies and Endlers. Oh my! Hashtag Project Placilia. As in, I'm expecting you to jump on there and do a video for us.
That's what I was just saying. Bob has some good looking Endlers too, Endlers and Guppies.
And I'm hoping to add some Doug Gray stock to the fish room soon. I was very briefly talking to him via the comments on one of his YouTube videos. Of course, I know Bob has, more personal means of contact with him. I was just happy to be communicating via comments. So I'm hoping to get some stuff from him once shipping opens back up where he's at. Yeah,
Doug's awesome. I love Doug Gray's videos. Super cool. There's one that I haven't seen yet. The latest one I haven't seen. This week has been the most insane, busy week in my life. I haven't been able to get anything done. It's been crazy.
And Chewy LTD says Posilia mollis, guppies, endlers, and microposilia no xiphoporus or xiphoporus, however you want to pronounce that, however it's properly pronounced. Lefty 3213 says I'm going to have to get more guppies. You've got so many awesome guppies over there. The ones you sent me the pictures of on Instagram. I don't know if you've posted pictures of those anywhere, but oh my God, those are gorgeous. If you haven't posted them yet, post those publicly, because I know a lot of people absolutely love those. I sent them to Ed. He thought they were gorgeous, and I was like, no, those aren't mine. I wish I could take credit for them.
I thought he just bought them or just received them, and it's like, oh, I'm jealous. But yeah, those are beautiful, man.
World Aquarium Singapore. Sorry, Ed, go ahead.
The IFGA is the International Fancy Guppy Association, I believe. They are still like kind of operating like their rules from the 70s. I mean, the guppies are beautiful, but the Asian strands are just amazing, and they aren't letting them in as part of the show yet. And man, when they do, I think it's going to change everything up, because those things they need to let beautiful guppies like that in. And Jesse from HC Aquatics, he has some incredible, beautiful guppies too that should be in. And he's the secretary in Hawaii for the IFGA club there. So yeah, he was telling me that they're right now discussing how to bring in the Asian strands. You see, how they got it set up is they have all the colors, so that you got green, black, white, I don't know, yellow. They have like 8 colors, and then they have like 8 different types of tails. And then they have divisions of all the females, of all like groups. And you have to submit 2 guppies that look just like each other, big, beautiful males. Most of it's all males. The female section's real small. But they give like 109 awards for different categories. So I mean, the categories are monstrous, and they're probably afraid to bring in all the Asian ones, because a lot of their ones that they've been looking at for years will look really boring. I know that sounds terrible, but also, how do they break the categories down? Because I mean, right now they can throw. What they do is they have a couple of categories called AOC, which is all
other colors.
Yeah, all other colors. So that's like the ones that are multiple colors. But you can't put all the beautiful guppies into one category.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting, and probably just a lot of work, and maybe just nobody wants to do the work, which I understand.
Speaking of HC Aqua, I did get, I think it was the most recent video. Somebody's probably already posted a link, but I'm behind on chat. I do have a video that came out earlier in the week of the beautiful guppies I got from HC Aqua, the Super Dumbo Dragons. So go check that out. It's only a couple minutes. I think I just did like a 2-minute video on that one. So
is that the same one that I've got?
I don't know if it is or not.
I haven't seen it yet. That'd be interesting.
Just kidding.
Hey, you're copying me.
I am. No, I'm copying Bob Kaler at Kaler's Aquatics. Okay, get it right.
All right.
Now, I'm going to burn through the chat here real quick, because I'm getting further and further behind as I see my bar narrowing. World Aquarium Singapore says, coolest fish from Fever, thanks. And yes, Chattanooga Ed, that will be great.
I don't know what it was, but I appreciate it.
I've forgotten at this point, honestly. Cody Son says, I'll start dropping some hashtag Project Pasilia on IG soon. Very cool, Cody Son. I look forward to that. I'm going to try and share out as many of those as I can, either on my Facebook or Instagram's weird about how I can share things. But, also sharing out YouTube videos on my YouTube community tab, just to kind of help spread the community aspect of it and get some more eyes on some of the other channels that are doing it. See, all right, I'm going to burn through here. If I don't see anything highlighted, I may skip over it unless it just jumps out at me. Lefty3213A says, I posted up some underwater footage of the purples, but I will post those pictures. Sure, Fish from Fever. Awesome, Lefty. Thank you. Gorgeous stuff. Zen Ginger, thank you for dropping all the links in here. chat jumped on me. I knew I was getting behind.
James, have you ever seen Papa Shrimp Aquatics? He's in our chat, and I am subbing to him right now and hitting the bell, and I'm going to check him out afterwards. I appreciate it.
I'm going to take a look at that because I feel like I'm in so many streams, and honestly, half the time I end up in there and I'm not even looking at whose name it actually is. I'll have to check that out. I feel like I am, but honestly, I get the names mixed up a lot if it's not people that I see like all the time. Moonstone says, love you guys, but my eyes are closing. Long day. Catch you tomorrow. Keep up the good work. Kim is probably already gone because I'm behind, but Kim, have a wonderful night. If you can still hear us, I appreciate you hanging out with us.
Night. Thank you for showing up. You're awesome.
Chewy says the old guard will have to get out of the hobby for that to happen at Fish Room Fever for the IFGA. Yeah,
yep. That's what
yeah. A lot of times it's the older ones that are holding fast on the old ways and the rules and regulations.
Well, and I mean, they have a monopoly on their fish, and they don't want to see new fish coming in that will make theirs not look like the best. So, it's just how it is. But
absolutely. So Chris Tank Addiction did come to clarify. He says at Fish Room Fever, the whole site, by the way. So use that promo code FRF10 for 10% off on the Multi-Tank Addiction site. Got some wonderful art. Mine's hung up. I can't get to it at the moment. But I've got a lot of stuff from Chris. I've not gotten any fish yet because that's new, but we'll definitely have to change that in the near future.
I have a question from Danikin Aquatics. He says, Ed, how's the fish room doing? Well, I've got 3 out of 4 walls painted. I've started moving tanks in. I still have another a few dozen to put in, and still have to hook up the internet. That's going to be a big one. And I was talking to my brother-in-law today about hooking up the central air. So we're getting there. Yeah, I bought my brother-in-law a chainsaw today, and he was so excited. He didn't want anything for all the work he's been doing. And I mean, he's put so many weekends in, and so he was pretty excited about it. It made me feel really good.
Very nice. Recon's got the link for the sneak peek of your fish room that you posted on your channel the other day.
That was like my first just mega sneak peek. And I don't know how many of you guys caught it. Rob from Flip Aquatics was in there. I was interviewing him with Chris on Multi-Tank Addiction, and I thought I was getting a box of shrimp from him, and it came in the morning because he said he was going to overnight it. And so I've been carrying this thing around. I was keeping it in the coolest rooms of the house since it's shrimp, so they wouldn't get hot. And then I look at it, and I was like, man, that looks like a Dan's Fish box. And I went like this, and it was from Dan's Fish. And then I knew it was the puffer, and I thought the puffer was coming in today. Mm-hmm. So luckily, I already had the water set up, and I had already plugged the heater in, but I had just plugged the heater in the night before, and I dropped a molly in just a little, like an hour before, to see if it would die, or before. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't want to put the puffer in something that I can't, measure. And the water wasn't toxic. Everything was great. Yep, the molly was fine. I released the puffer. I turned around and the molly was gone. So then the puffer just sits and doesn't do anything, but somehow the molly disappeared. I don't know how it did it. But it's eating bloodworms and doing great. He's ate a couple of snails also. Or she. Nice. Bob has to explain to us, and I wonder if he did that in the stream tonight. He knows how to sex them, and he just could look at the hump and say that it was a female. Oh, so I named a new name, because originally I had named it Java, because it kind of looked like Jabba the Hutt.
Mhm.
And now I have to figure out a new name.
A couple of questions and comments in the chat. Fishkeeper Cole says, I don't know if anyone remembers the mystery plants that I mentioned on Dan's second to last stream, but they have shot off like crazy. I think they are Ludwigia, but I don't know the species yet. I'm horrible with IDing plants, but I'm sure that we could find somebody that could check them out and find out exactly what they are. And then John Larson, which I've seen several people have already answered this question, but says, shrimp question, with the blue shrimp from Flip Aquatics do well in water 78 to 82. His page says 72. In the summer, I do not need the heaters, LOL. I'm going to agree with what several people have mentioned about that being on the high end. They could survive, but they definitely will not thrive. I mean, I've got shrimp that are upper 70s, and they do fine for me. I've never done them at 82. I think it was Chris that said they'll survive, and I tend to agree with that I don't think you're going to kill them all off, but I don't think they're going to do well for you. And then I did see that you did not make that purchase, so that's probably best for those temperatures. Sure didn't miss anything in the middle of all of that. And thank you all in the chat for answering that question. We had several people do that.
Yeah, and Fishkeeper Cole, I know you're on Instagram. Just or at least I think he's either on an Instagram friend or a Facebook friend of mine. If you post it and say, what is this plant, I'm sure a whole mess of us will give our guess. And then whatever Priscilla says is probably right.
Right. Chewy LTD said, standards are standards, and the real rules for those that have got a wide range of tastes should be members of the World Guppy Association, as all the rules overlap that organization, Fisher and Feeder. So I will have to look into that. Ed probably knows a lot more about the World Guppy Association than I do myself.
I don't know much about it. I just know that's what they have like in Asia and stuff. And I've watched a couple of their competitions, and it's pretty cool. But gotcha. I don't know if they're even in North America. But
and,
if I can win it.
Sorry, buddy. Chewy dropping more knowledge. So there are more guppy associations around the world. The IFGA is American-based, as it took over from the Hunnell's American Guppy Association in the 50s, Fisher and Feeder.
Well, since I'm an American, maybe that's one that I'm going to be in.
The multi-tank addiction said dragon puffers do eat mollies in the wild, if I remember correctly. Fisher and Fever. Yeah, that's one of those things that it doesn't surprise me. You know, a lot of times if it'll fit in its mouth, it's going to go bye-bye.
Oh, sure. He says there is a World Guppy Association club in Florida. So maybe I'll have to check it out. And,
absolutely.
I'll sign up.
Maybe you can be the founding member of the Tennessee chapter or something like that, Ed.
Oh, yeah. We got enough.
Oh, sorry, I keep jumping on you tonight. Mr. Fish Sir, Brad says, Fisher and Fever in my outdoor tub now has fry in it. That is awesome. Congratulations. I'm really wanting to do some tubs, but I just don't think that I'm going to, as much as I want to set some up. I don't think it's a good idea with the wildlife and whatnot, and the local cats. My cat's going outside. I think that will end poorly. All right.
I started my tubbing today. Well, not really start. I started prepping them today. And so I'm hoping I'll catch a couple inches of water maybe tonight, and then I'll fill them up tomorrow.
Very nice. I don't know. I've got enough going on inside that I don't need to take on a big project like that, which it would be if I wanted to do it properly and protect the fish, because I don't want them to just get eaten, you know. So that's my biggest thing, is to do it safely for the fish, and it would just take a lot of involvement for me to get there. But who knows, maybe next year or maybe later on this year I get a late start on it. You never know.
Yep. Or maybe you could do one at my house. You could buy your own tub and throw your fish in it.
There you go. Now that we're kind of coming to the end of the craziness, or so it looks like, and being allowed to travel again. Let me jump up here. Chat jumped on me. I see a lot of highlighted stuff.
It's here.
That was Chewy saying that the club is in Florida. We got that. Good. Let's see. Chewy LTD says there's an International Guppy Education and Exhibition Society in Boston. Fisher and Fever.
That one's just a little too long of a drive for me, even though I've got relatives there.
Pugimus Maximus. I always love saying that name. Fisher and Fever, in your opinion, what's a good pleco for a 20-gallon high, no heater, average temp 74, heavily planted? If you're going to keep it in a 20 for life, I don't know if that's a long or a high, but it should be fine. You can do a clown pleco in there. Temperature, but that's mindset constantly. Stay really, really small. And you won't really see it very often, but it would go in there. If you've got other tanks that you could eventually move it to, of course, that opens up a lot of other options, but you didn't ask about that, so I'll get into that. There are a couple of different things. You could do a bristle nose in there, especially if it's a 20 long with the bigger footprint. I've got bristle nose in 20 longs. A lot of things you could have in there for quite some time before they would outgrow it. But if you're wanting something for life, I would stay more with like the clown pleco. That's kind of my go-to small tank. They stay little, maybe 3 inches, generally speaking.
And here's just, it's not really a pleco, but it's a great algae eater. Is the autocats are super cute, and if you get like 5 of them, they'll chase each other around, and they work all the time. They're always eating. Just throwing that out there for us.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Big J Fishkeeper says, I need more tubs. 11, not enough. I would love to have 11 tubs set up right now.
That's my future goal, is a bunch of them. The Guppy Guru is here. You need to get him on board with the project.
Absolutely. I'm working on it. May is going to be the big month, like you mentioned. That was the plan, was to kind of get it fired off a little bit at the end of this month, get it in people's heads, and then kind of push it through for the month of May. Okay, I think I got back up to where I was at. Pugimus Maximus says, Fisher and Fever, my HOA or homeowners association prevents us from having outdoors, standing water, ponds, pools, bird baths, etc. Yeah, that's always a bummer when you've got something like that getting in the way. I'm sorry to hear that.
What state?
Sorry.
What state is that?
I don't know, but I know a lot of.
I know HOA could be any state.
Yeah, it could be anywhere. But yeah, a lot of subdivisions and fancy housing, if you will, have stuff like that. How tall your grass could be and things of that nature.
You think if they're really fancy, they'd want people to have little ponds.
Brad Mr. Fish Sir says, Fish from Fever, are you going to sell fish, especially your bristlenose plecos? At some point I will. So here's what happened with that. I ended up with hundreds upon hundreds of baby bristlenose with nowhere to move them to. I had plenty of room, in the fish room, but I didn't want to end up with 600-700, grown bristlenose. So I ended up moving some fish around, cutting down on the breeding so they would stop pumping out babies constantly, and then ended up over the past 4 or 5 months slowly selling those off to the LFS and things like that. So at some point I might. It seems like I should have ramped up production on those, but I just didn't want to have hundreds and hundreds of bristlenose everywhere, and have to devote tanks solely to them, and then they start getting too big for the space allotted to them. So I actually cut back on what's the word I'm looking for here? Not priming, but we'll say priming them for spawning, if you will, because I feed a lot of spirulina, frozen brine shrimp when I want them to breed heavy. So I went back to more other foods and wafers and things like that they don't seem to breed as heavy on, and they have it. So at some point I will, Brad, I will put you on the list of people that I get some to in the near future. That way you're not stuck waiting until I actually am at a point that I can quote unquote sell them.
And Brad, I did ask him earlier too.
Yes, he did. Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
For you. She's wondering, how many types of plecos do you have?
Last count was 14 types.
Nice.
It might be more than that now. I think I've added to that. Just off the top of my head, Snowball, Golden Nugget, Blue Phantom, Green Phantom, Royal Pleco, Bristlenose, which if you want to get into variants, I have the Albinos, I have the Super Reds, and I have the Blue-Eyed Lemons. And then I have the Gibbous Plecos, I have Clown Plecos, I have the New Ranger Plecos, and I know I'm forgetting a couple. But yeah, I love Plecos. And it's become Guppies, and Plecos are the addiction.
Chris from Multi-Tank Addiction says, James, put me on that list too.
Absolutely. A couple things. I see a couple of super chats, but I didn't want to jump past anything. I'm just now getting down to there. Zen Ginger saying, if you want to tag me, please type @FisherandFever. Yes, I greatly appreciate that because it highlights the message for me. Guppy Guru with the $2 super chat says, just for support, Guppy Guru, I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I need to talk with you some more on the Project Facilia thing, like Ed mentioned, but also on some other stuff. So I'm going to have to track you down on like Facebook Messenger so that we can talk. And then right behind that, Chris at Multi-Tank Addiction with the $2 super chat says, reticulated hill stream loach for the win. I can't argue with that, brother. That's an awesome call, and thank you for the $2 super chat. And again, thank you for that, the 10% off code on your website. For anybody that may have missed that earlier, FRF10 gets you 10% off on Multi-Tank Addiction's website.
You know what? I got a package this week from Priscilla. She said, did I get her aquarium box yet? I got her art package. Can I go and get it and show you guys some of her awesome art she sent me?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'd all love to see that.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'm going to catch up with chat. Chewy LTD says the next World Guppy Championship is in China at the world's biggest fish aquaculture event. It is called Aquarama Fisher and Fever, and he's got the link for us as well. Very cool. Don't think I'll be going to China anytime soon, but that is awesome, and I appreciate you sharing. I'm going to have to check out that link and see what they got going on over there. Oh, thought I was going to catch up real quick, and then it jumped on me here. All right. Scroll down through there. Guru, your guppies rock, says Zen Ginger. There's the Priscilla question that Ed pointed out. And Chris, I will put you on that list, as I mentioned. Guppy Guru says, we were supposed to have IFGA show here in Utah in March, but it was canceled. Yeah, a lot of stuff sadly got canceled due to the thing. We'll just call it the thing. Mr. Fish Services, Fisher and Fever, the Pleco King. Honestly, I thought about naming my channel like Pleco Palace or something like that when I first got started, but I was afraid it wouldn't have the same interest. People would think it was just about plecos, and most people don't really, or a lot of people will say, don't realize how many different types of plecos there are if you're not a pleco person. So I opted to not go with that. But yes, I do love my plecos. Let's see. John Larson asked if the gold nuggets hide all the time. I have seen they're not quite as bad as the snowballs or the clowns, but they do definitely like to hide a lot. Oh, I've also got a Sultan Pleco, which I forgot because it hides all the time. I see it maybe once a month unless I actually go looking for it.
Okay.
Guppy Guru, I'm actually going to take a picture of that so I don't forget to hit him up on Facebook. So let me do that real quick. And then, Ed, I'm going to I'll just do that while I'm taking the picture. I'll throw you up on the screen. I think I've caught up on everything else.
Okay, give me at least a second to figure out how to open this package.
All right, good. I'll address a couple more things real quick. Sharon Miller's Fish from Fever, love your new guppies. Thank you, Sharon, very much. The last ones were from HC Aqua. The ones before that were from Lake Hamilton Guppies down in Florida. Monica Lynn says, have to roll, you late night people. Have a great night. I will have to play this back later on your guppy info, Ed. Peace. Chattanooga Ed Fisher and Fever. Monica, have a wonderful night. I look forward to seeing some guppy pics from you on Instagram. I think I follow you on there.
That's super.
Luke Roebuck for IFGA fame was also acknowledged as a Guppy Association judge, Fisher and Fever, as he basically was from Brazil. And then Big J, I will get to yours. That's where I'm going to hold my chat at. And I'll let Ed do his thing right quick here and show us what he's got going on.
Yep. I've got 5 different pieces of awesome art from Priscilla. As you can see, this is a dart frog. She has I'm sure somebody can pop. I don't know if Priscilla's a mod or not, but maybe she can pop or link how you can get some of her awesome art. But I think, Priscilla, you can say if you still have prints of this stuff or not. But this is the dart frog. That is amazing. It's awesome. There's the Asian arowana, the red. I believe this was somebody asked her to do this particular one. She also has it in a sticker. So that's pretty sweet. I don't know if maybe was it John from KG Tropic that asked you to do this for him? But okay. Now this one I absolutely love. It's a blue angel. I think she said this was her first angel that she got, or first one in the States. But or maybe I'm just making this stuff up and I just dream it. But it's still nevertheless an awesome print of an angel. I can't wait. I'm going to build another wall. I'm building, the fish room came first, and then I'm going to build a storage room to throw all my junk boxes in and stuff. And I'm going to put up a wall on that, into my living room where I'm going to put my art that I get from people. And I'm thinking about actually using magnets instead of nails. And I'm going to put metal up in the wall and then put high-powered magnets in the frames. But, look at this, Bosmani. That is awesome. And this is an 11 by 14. 11 by 14s, prints generally go 16 or 5 by 7, 8 by 10, 11 by 14, and then it goes to 16 by 20, our standard framing sizes. So that's a beautiful print. And then this one, I bet James is going to miss out on. And he can probably tell you exactly what type of pleco this is. I don't think it's a snowball. Maybe Priscilla can say what type it is. But just so awesome. Absolutely love them. And then that's all my art from her. And she also threw in some stickers. And of course, oh, here they are. Oh, I hope I didn't just show my address. Oh, well. It's not the first time. It's like Bob says, if you see his address, send him candy and money. But here's one of her stickers. I love all of her stickers. They're all awesome. So super cool, super exciting. I love it. I still got to get some of Chris's art. I bought some from him, and he canceled the order and said that friends don't buy or pay for his art. And he said that he'd give it to me in Dallas. And I've got to get a print of his Black Moor Angel. If you guys go to his website, it's 10% off. And I think Priscilla also has a deal for people that are Fish Fam. I think it's 10% off if you say Fish Fam 10% off or something like that in her order form, and then you'll get that discount on all of her stuff. And she also has some, I think she might have an awesome bumblebee just some really neat stuff. I don't know if she still has an American Eagle, but it's amazing. Well, I shouldn't say American, a bald eagle. It's awesome. And Chris says he'll ship it this weekend. Well, buddy, I don't want you to have to pay for shipping, but if you just send me the one, that would be awesome, and I'll make sure I frame it and I'll show everybody in the world because I love showing all the art. So I've got art from Rack, this Grunge Princess, Priscilla. I'll be getting a piece from Pam soon, and and let's see what else. I've got a friend in St. Louis that sent me a lot of art named MJ, and she does art a lot like the Grunge Princess, Sarah from not Arizona, from south of that, Australia. I don't know why easy things that normally I talk about don't pop in my head very well. And one of these days, I've paid for a card from Pam, but I keep holding out. And I know that's terrible because she pops these cards up that you can get if you watch her streams on Wednesday nights. All the Patreons can have a shot at getting one before she puts it up for giveaway. Even though next week, I hope she does an auction on live because that would be awesome. But I got one of those just so it's like money in the bank. But I've been really waiting for her to do a photo or a drawing of a fish. And I couldn't do Bob's puffer because that was Bob's and I would have felt bad. Even though I probably should have done it and given it to Bob for like a birthday present or something. Because she did a photo, or not a photo, a card of Dharma. That was amazing. But, yep, so that's my art stuff, which is pretty cool. And we're looking at his piranhas on that side. He's going to be doing a video tomorrow on the piranhas. So his piranhas were his first video that went over 1,000. So.
Yeah, I'm doing a follow-up to that because that surprised me. Out of nowhere, they ended up picking up over 500 views this month, and I did that back when I had like 80 subscribers. It was literally just 2 minutes with cheesy music and me not even talking, and somehow YouTube picked it up. But I'm doing a really nice edited video on them, a factual video. I'm going to go over, how I keep them, water temps, their diets, their behaviors, things of that nature.
What light do you use on those guys?
That is actually, and that's a funny story, which I can't talk too much about because I told Joey that I would save my plant secrets for a video he asked me to be in.
Okay.
But that is actually a T5 high output saltwater light. The bulbs that are in it, it's got 6 4-foot bulbs. The bulbs that are in it, if you asked anybody, hey, will these bulbs work for a planted tank? The general consensus would be no, those are horrible bulbs for fish. And yet I have that mother plant in there that's actually flowering. The flower is just out of picture.
And what's that plant called? You said a mothering?
Well, it's a mother plant. It's just not been. You could take and make 4 or 5 plants out of it.
I got you.
But you can see it flowering right there. And I've got a lot of other plants. They've got that fake plant in there, which I absolutely love because they kick that thing around. The plecos in there will knock that thing around. They just have fun with it. That was one of those that my son brought it in and was like, this should go in a piranha tank. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I chucked it in there. Contrary to my dislike for plastic plants most of the time.
I like how they're all looking at us.
Yeah. Let me get my live chat back.
He jumped off of a cliff into a old quarry in Missouri, but he had his GoPro on his head. And when he went under, I'll wait till we go to full live shot. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. You don't have to see me. But when he went under the water, he looked with his camera, and it was so creepy because there were bass, and they're all lined up, staring at him in a circle. And you could see him start to freak out because they were all, I mean, these are big bass just in a circle around him. So when he plopped, they must have all come to see if it was food or a human.
Right.
But it was so neat because they weren't at different levels. They were like all at the exact, like 5 feet from the surface level, you know, and endless bottom, maybe 40 feet down. I don't know. But
oh, that's awesome.
But he got it all on his GoPro. I had to ask him to let me have that footage because it's pretty cool.
Real quick, I want to say good night to Chris at Multi-Tank Addiction. Says, got to head to bed, going to start early tomorrow. Night, everyone. Chris, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for being a member since you'll miss that thank you part of the stream. And again, thank you for doing that promo code FRF10 for 10% off on the Multi-Tank Addiction website.
You know what? I don't know if I said I had Rex art, but I also have a lot of Rex art too.
Yeah.
Gosh, I feel horrible if I didn't mention Rex.
Mr. Fish Source says, Fisherman Fever, are those new fish or did they change colors? Those are the same fish. You may be getting some color variation because I just did a water change yesterday. I did a massive water change. So the water's not quite as tannins as it normally would be. Usually there are a lot more tannins in the water, but it's a lot clearer today than usual. So that may be part of it. The reds are a little bit brighter on them lately, but I think that may be because they're getting towards sexual maturity. So they may be thinking about doing some things. I need to get them moved into the 220 gallon, but the whole sick thing has kind of delayed that.
Now with tetras, they won't be like super aggressive towards each other, will they?
So I've not spawned these before. Let me clarify that ahead of time because these are not really recorded being spawned in aquariums. But with red bellies, which are also pygocentris, the way that I have seen them breed in the past in my aquariums is once they make their little nest in the sand or in the gravel, they get extremely territorial and extremely aggressive of that particular area. In that 220 gallon, I've had 4 pairs at the same time spawning, and all the other fish were kept far away from those 4 spots.
I figured they would just be an egg scatter like other tetras.
So what I had with the red bellies was they picked a little spot in the gravel. They made kind of like an indentation with it, which is weird because that's more of a cichlid thing. I didn't know what they were doing the first time they did it. But they put their eggs in there and then they guarded that little area. And then I would give it some time for, I don't even remember. It was less than a week, if I remember correctly. But I used to have the timing down on it. And then I would just go through with the python. And they hated it. And I had to use an extension to keep my hand out of the water because they got really aggressive. But I'd use a python to just gravel back the babies straight out of the substrate, all the little wigglers, into a bucket and then put them into their own tank. So it should be similar with these. I'm really hoping that I can get them breeding. I feel like I can. I've bred a couple of different species of piranha, or types of piranha. So I need to get them in the bigger tank. I think once I get them in the 220, give them more space and give them a deeper gravel substrate, that I can do a lot of the other things that I do to encourage the red bellies to breed and get these guys going.
Well, I love looking at your piranhas, but I'll never probably take any.
If I could get them going, of course you'd be welcome to them if you wanted. But if I could get them going, I know there'd be a line out the door because the only Caribe that you can get are wild caught. You can only get them certain sizes, certain times of the year, of course, due to their natural spawning cycles. And now they've introduced a law in Tennessee where apparently you can't bring in piranha from outside the state. So piranha in general getting difficult to find, but these specifically homebred would be very highly sought after, which would be cool. I'd like to do it. It'd be a first. So it's a challenge. I want to try.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. I've never bred any tetra. I'm pretty pathetic when it comes to breeding. But, most of my life I've just been into just having a lot of beautiful tanks of fish. You know, I wasn't trying to breed them. If they bred, it was great, but I never like tried to do things to get them to breed. And so now that I'm basically retired, I can do a lot more fun stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's I don't know. I'm finding that is kind of one of the really fun aspects for me this go around in the hobby, is the breeding stuff. I had just gotten into breeding the red bellies, and they were the first fish that I'd ever bred, and that was right before the last time when I got out of the hobby, which was that's a long story. It's one of those don't do business with friends type of things. But basically, I lost all of those fish due to the power being shut off, if you will. You don't rent from friends. So that was kind of all my fish are gone. I'm done. I'm out of this hobby. Then had the kids come along and stayed out of it. But I never really got to finish that process. So I'm back on that. I am going to go grab them some food real quick. They ate a little while ago, but I'm pretty sure actually left some krill out. They didn't go bad, but they were out long enough that they're not frozen anymore. So I want to feed those krill tonight so they don't go bad. So I'm going to go grab those real quick.
You bet. And is anybody seen is Sean in the chat? Because I don't know. Let me see. My buddy Sean from Kentucky, about 4 hours north of me, he has been working on a fish shed, like in his backyard, and he was telling me how he got it all hooked up today. And once he gets it done, man, I want to go up there and check it out. Hopefully, when all this sickness goes away, maybe Bob and I can take a trip up there, or if James wants to come too, that's cool. But I guess he's not here. Darn it. I was going to ask him some questions. But it's pretty cool because, I mean, he had to do it all himself, like all the electricity and stuff that he wasn't planning on doing. Yep. Sean OOTD. So, super cool guy. But, yeah, let's see. I haven't decided how many guppy strands I'm going to do in my fish room. Right now I've got about 14 or 15, and there's at least 2 more that I want to do that I really want. And let's see. Oh, Griffin Fish Room says, Ed, when you do, let me know. Oh, yeah, Griff might live up there somewhere, too. Well, I know he lives up there somewhere. Well, yeah, he got his electric done today, and it's so cool. He, sent me a checklist because my brother-in-law is a master electrician, but, my brother-in-law just didn't have time to drive up there to do his, and I've been begging him to do my stuff. So he's been just I've been reading stuff to my brother-in-law while he works that if it makes sense or not. But yeah, who knows? We may end up maybe bringing him a barbecue or something, have a barbecue party at his house this summer. Oh, there he is now. He just said, hey, everybody. So we're talking about going to your house and having a barbecue and checking out the fish shed.
Let's do it.
Yep. Griff said he's there. And I think Bob, let's see, did Bob say just let me know when, or was that somebody else? But yeah, that'd be fun.
So as you can see, they do definitely get aggressive when feeding, but not so much with each other as much as with whatever they're feeding upon. And then once it's gone and the hits stop coming, if you will, and the whole pack is not snacking on something, they just kind of settle back in. They still look around to see if there's anything left to eat, but they don't start just going after each other necessarily. Now it's going to probably take them about 10 minutes or so to kind of settle back where they were and everybody find their spot, because they do like their little hover spots, if you will. where they just kind of sit and idle. Guppy Guru says, just hit 16 strains of guppies today. Going to be 18 next week. That is awesome. I'm nowhere near either of you all. I think I've got 8 or 9 at the moment.
Well, yeah, but you've been doing amazing. It's like overnight.
I'm working on it. Tomorrow I'm going to drain. I've got 8 more tanks on the rack that I'm changing stuff up in. That are going to be devoted to guppies. And then I think I'm going to do the Rachel O'Leary tank. I think I'm going to stock that with those guppies from HC Aqua. So I've got 4 pairs, so I'd like to see them in a 20 long. So I think that's going to be my stocking. It'll be a hashtag Project Posilia tank, along with being the Rachel Skate Challenge tank.
Yeah, I bought 2 pairs from him, and well, no, I didn't buy. I won a pair, and then I bought a pair, and then I've got a bunch of fry already. I actually killed one yesterday on accident. I put the Corridoras I bought in the tank with them, and I caught one of the fry in the net as I was letting the Corys out, and didn't even realize it till after I was cleaning the net, and I found a little fry stuck on the inside, and I felt like a bum. Those guys are so cute, but that's what happens. Always check your net. I was checking it to make sure the Corys were out, not for little guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had that happen with cherry shrimp before, or Neocaridina shrimp. Anyways, I think it was it wasn't a cherry. It was another color. I don't remember now, but I was very upset the next day when I realized what I had done. So I can totally understand that.
Ooh, Tiffany White has 6 different strains. That's awesome.
Yeah, Tiffany White's got the guppyitis also. I'm loving it.
Yeah, she's so cool. So, yeah, I think after this, I'm going to try to just buy it. Well, no, I need to set the tanks up. And then there's one that I want so bad on Aquabid. And it's up, and I want to get it, but I need to set the tanks up and get them all moved in before I get fish. I keep telling myself, wait, Ed, wait. Good things come to those who wait.
Sometimes they come to the people that jump on it first.
Right, I know.
No, I shouldn't encourage you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. But like right now, Jesse's is in a 10-gallon, and I'll be moving that into a 20. And so, I want to put real pretty strands in like the 6 guppy tanks there will be 4 guppy tanks right behind me when I'm streaming. That'll be at eye level, and I'm going to put my 4 favorites in there, and then stack them evenly up and down in front of them, or up and above them. If that makes sense. And I could really put another rack in and have 4 racks of fish, but my back is so bad, I just don't want to get that low on the floor.
Yeah, I can understand that completely. Zen Ginger says, a fish from Fever House, my girl, the eel, I've adopted her as my long distance fish. She is doing really well. Miss Fever got to feed her earlier. It was very funny watching her trying to do that and making sure she didn't get bit, because the eel will try and get its nose out of the tank during feeding. But I'm actually, once I get these piranha moved into the 220-gallon, the Tessellata is going to move into the tank that you see now, which will give a lot more video access to her, and it'll give her a little bit more space, which will be nice. But yeah, she's doing really good. She got kind of fussy earlier. I could tell she was looking for something to eat. She started poking at the top of the tank, which fortunately I have reinforced with wood on top, and then cases of bottled water for weight because it's just glass tops. She just flipped those right out of the way. Saltwater eels are particularly known for working their way out of the tops of tanks. But she's doing great. More on-screen time for her. And I'm actually, I'm looking at, I need to get a really good picture of her. I want to redo the Fish Room Fever banner on the main YouTube page and have her on it.
Did you say she got out of the tank?
No, I didn't say she got out of the tank, but they're notorious for trying to get out of the tank. Uh, Eels in general are really good at slipping through small gaps in tank lids. So even though there are glass tops on that tank, I went back and cut some wood exactly the size that had openings for like the filter tubes and that type of stuff, so that there were no gaps for her to be able to get out of. But she will like poke her nose up through the glass tops when she gets ornery and she wants some food. She's a big girl; she eats a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Joey lost his that way with King of DIY.
Yeah, I have lost them before that way, unfortunately. It's always a shame. Um, and it's I just I don't know. You got to be careful, especially with certain fish. Certain species are more prone to it than others.
Yeah, I'm not an eel guy. I had a bad experience with an eel, and never want to do them again. I mean, Bob has those beautiful tire track eels that are really cool, and I mean, you've got your amazing saltwater ones, but I had just a plain old fashioned brown one, and I must have bought it when it was an inch or two, and I never saw it for like 6 years, and I had since put in goldfish in that tank, and the goldfish kept like losing fins and things, their body, and I didn't know if they had some type of disease or what was going on, because they were just like cancerous. It looked like they're falling apart. And one day I walked in, and the eel had one of the black moors pinned down on the gravel, and he had his eye in his mouth, and he was sawing his eye with its mouth.
Wow.
And that pretty much scarred me for life on eels, because that was just god awful. But I mean, at least I knew my goldfish didn't have some type of consumption disease. They were being consumed by an eel slowly. It was horrible. But yeah. Okay, terrible story, but I still shared it.
All right. So Pugimus Maximus says, fisherman fever. How do you deal with columel guppies and other fish? I put my rainbow tiger endlers in another tank, but they are no longer active. So there are a couple different ways you can do that. At one point, I was putting stuff into the muck guppy tank, but now that there are some really pretty colors coming out of that, I want to start pulling those. Just because thinking down the line, I might, if I do start selling fish, I might like to sell muck guppies. So I want to get the any deformities or bad genetics out of there. I've put guppies in the piranha tank before. I know some people might cringe at that, but honestly, the piranhas didn't even chase them. I ended up getting the guppies back out of there at one point, but I guess it just wasn't worth it to the piranha to go after them, and I don't feed them live foods anyway, so they didn't really even see it as a food source. Not that they wouldn't snap one up that swam directly in front of their face, but I know some people put their culls in their turtle tanks if they have turtles. And then some people just have other tanks that are just, happy little community tanks. They can live out their days somewhere separate than their main breeding colonies.
Yeah, I'm going to address the same thing. I haven't had like calls where I've had bent spines yet, because I think my fish or all my guppies are too new. The DNA is still good. But once as they keep breeding, you keep breeding the same lines over and over, I'm going to get ones with bent spines and whatnot. Like I've already had that with my mollies, and I mean I've had them for just like 2 years. So this bent spine things, I was thinking about giving to the puffer, because it's a fish puffer, a fish hunting puffer. The only thing is I don't want it to not want to eat bloodworms. So I'm kind of mixed on that. I normally put my just ugly fish into what I call my pond fish, or my pond tank. That's all going to go outside into the pond. And I kind of regret doing it, because there was a really good line of fish or guppy I had in there. I got them in Knoxville, and they were like a purple tuxedo with a metal yellow head, and I've messed their lineup by throwing my calls in there. But that's how it goes.
So Guppy Guru says, yeah, that's how I do it. FRF just released a video today on how I call guppies. I saw that. Everybody go check that out. Very cool video. And then I want to address this. Mr. Fish, sir, says, Fisherman Fever, I thought muck guppies were the culls, LOL. So yes and no. So I have taken some, if you have like a pure strain or a pure line and you have undesired color genetics or things of that nature in that line, take stuff like that and throw it in the muck guppies. So those in a sense would be a cull. But then the muck guppies in and of themselves are generally just a mix of various lines. They're not a pure strain. So you can have culls from your muck guppies for things like bad genetics in terms of, like as mentioned, the bent spine, things of that nature. They're going to pass on to other generations deformities or defects or things that are just not healthy for the fish.
Yeah, I'm gonna not anything that has a deformity. I am not gonna put in my mutt guppy on one because I don't want to pass bad, scoliosis or whatever it would be called, fish spines to my other. So, and I mean, somebody had a video not too long ago where, I think it was Bob, where he had his call tank and he had this one girl with this horrible spine, and this boy's like dancing in front of her. It didn't matter to her that he was Quasimodo. But, I was thinking I'd probably throw my birth defects to my Bichers. And because I've got Bichir in there and I've got a Synodontis. So at night, the Synodontis is going to eat any of the guppies sleep on the bottom of the tank. And so the Synodontis will just wolf them up at night. And then the Bichers will get them at the top. So, they're pretty much dead meat, I guess. I wanted to see if they would survive. So I put 3 calls that didn't have birth defects. They were just ugly boy guppies in there just to see if they would make it, because I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a Virgilian in there. And, they didn't last very long at all.
Sorry, I'm playing around with the camera since we're talking guppies. I was going to try and get a guppy shot. I'm still here with you.
Oh, that's cool. And yeah, I wasn't saying anything bad about that Bob keeping that girl with bad spine, because I mean, I have a big heart too, and I hate doing things like that. And it was still funny that he videotaped it. I loved it. But yep. Okay, let's see.
Working on it. I'm determined to get this guppy shot.
Okay, Guppy Guru would like to pick our minds on the Bichers. I have just got into them. That was something that I'm copying from James. He has one Bicher that's always in front named Buddy, kind of like Pam's dog Buddy. And he's always swimming in front. And I see a lot of Bichers like to hide and stuff. Sean Peck has one that's always hiding. Mr. Tubes that only comes out once in a while. So I wanted to get one with a lot of personality. And I was at one of my local pet stores. It's called Bermuda Triangle. And I walked by the Bichir tank, and they had one they called it an armored one, but it's also a banded, going back and forth in front. And I said, that's the guy I want. And he's always in front in my tank. He's always waiting. I love the guy. And then I did get 2 of the ornate Bichir in auction at the Big Fish deal. I paid $30 for 2. I mean, they're incredibly pretty. And once they get big enough, I'm going to put them in my 200. But they're in the grow out tank now. They're about, maybe they're 3 to 4 inches. But they like to kind of hide in tubes right now. They come out when there's bloodworms in the water. But other than that, they pretty much stay in. But I don't know a good predator fish, or whoops, just jump. I think somebody was saying what's a good predator fish for feed calls. Well, I mean, any of your cichlids will probably gobble up any guppy, but the Bichir, any catfish will gobble up calls, and like that dragon puffer likes to eat them. So. Yep. And I just don't want to get my dragon puffer hooked on live fish because, I don't like the live fish that you buy for feeder fish at a pet store. Such bad conditions. They know they don't make much money off them, so how they save their money is by treating them badly, just having bajillions in a small area. If you look at them, they'll have velvet or thick or fin rot. They're sickly, a lot of them, and I don't want to feed my fish that I love sickly fish, but at the same time I don't want to be feeding my nice mollies to my fish all the time either. I'll eventually run out of mollies.
Right.
I have a bunch of ugly mollies, but they're hard to catch. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just want to say, if Papa Shrimp Aquatics is still listening, good night. I hope you have a great night. We'll catch you around. Guppy Guru, I'd love to talk Bishers with you. I didn't see if you had a specific question or just wanted to talk. Oh, there we go. Hold on a second. Found it. Guppy Guru says, I may have a 30 long that I may have waiting for a Bisher, just don't want to go too small or overstock his tank.
Yeah, 30 long's not going to last you too long with a Bisher.
Yeah.
You're going to get anywhere between 12 inches to 20 inches, depending on what type you get.
Yeah, you could go with, I definitely wouldn't go ornate. You could do a Senegal. They grow a little bit slower, get a little bit smaller. The ornates are the fastest growing in my personal experience. They went from being maybe a fifth of the size of my Senegal Bishers to one of them almost double the size in no time. I've got one of my ornates is, he's a big boy now. I'll have to get some footage of them soon, but he's a good 10 inches now and like really, really fat around. He's the piggy in the tank. The other ones are bigger than the Senegals as well. The saddled ones I had don't seem to be growing very quickly either, but I haven't had them long enough to know for sure how they're going to develop. I've only had them since the big fish deal.
Now, is the saddle the same thing as an armored or a banded, or is that a whole nother one?
I think saddled is the same as the banded. I'd have to look up the banded, honestly, to know for sure.
The name it starts with the official name starts with a D, and I just can't think of it to save my life. But I think it's actually the smallest brashear. Biker, Bisher. There's like a bajillion names for them too. But
right.
I think that the one I've got, I think it's normally the smallest. That's like 12 to 14 inches. Is that one.
Yeah, you could get away with one of those. Somebody else said it. Where was it? Oh, Pugimus Maximus says, "Oh, little Bisher, would it be okay in a 40 breeder? At least for some time, it would be. Probably be okay with it in there. Depends on what other stocking you had and how many you had, of course. And then Chevy Fish chiming in says Senegalis is the smallest. I would feel comfortable doing that. Some people might disagree, but I would feel comfortable with it.
I would say the smallest I'd put it in is once they're grown out, it would be a 75 or bigger. That's just me. Because they're a long fish. The 40 breeder, it's going to be long enough. I don't know.
Well, I say the breeder over the 29 gallon because of the front to back on it. Because it's bigger than 12 inches, so it's got turning room. It's not going to touch both sides of the glass if it goes to turn around.
And I think a 40 breeder is actually closer to 50 than it is 40 gallons, isn't it? Isn't it like 46 gallons or 47 gallons? It's actually not 40 gallons. I heard somebody tell me that, and I didn't even measure it.
I think it is over 40. I don't remember exactly, but I'm almost positive you're over 40.
I've got a tank calculator on my telephone. I tell you what, I'll measure it out, and I'll give you guys the stats next week. I'll say how many gallons it is.
see. Okay, we are all good and caught up. I'm going to do this real quick as soon as I get it pulled up. I want to run through and say thank you to all the members tonight. I had it and then I closed it, of course. Go figure. We're up to 19 members, if I remember correctly. So thank you all very, very much for that. Just find my studio here on another page. I will say one of the things that I am putting that money to is an auto-focusing webcam. The one that I have is manual focus, and you can see it's kind of fuzzy right now. But if I adjust it and then I put it back to me, I'm going to have to adjust it again, and the is right around the lens. So I have to stick my finger on the camera to do it, essentially. So sorry those guppies aren't perfectly in focus, but since I wanted to address that and we're talking members, I figured I would share with you some of the funding that is going. Basically it all, in one way or another, goes back into the channel and helping to grow things and better the content and hopefully make it more enjoyable for you all. Almost got it.
Ro has a question. She says, look like I'm the only person not breeding guppies. And guppies crossbreed with platies and swordtails. They cannot. They're in the same, I guess, species as mollies. So they can breed with mollies, but they can't breed with swordtails or platies. But it's good to see you, Ro.
Oh, yeah. Good to see you. Hello, Ro. That was fun hanging out with you and going to the fish stores. And Ro had made a comment earlier, I think, that she almost bought that alligator gar from the one store. Yeah, they're pretty. I had one once before, but I'm trying not to do a lot of monster fish. I know I have some monsters, but I'm trying to stay away from getting back into the monster niche, especially since I'm in a mobile home. I can't be putting, 800-gallon tanks up. Fishkeeper Cole wants to know, ask you what Facebook group I should post the plant ID request in. You're welcome to post it on the Fish Room Fever page. If there's a site that I don't want to tell you to post it somewhere you're not supposed to post the stuff. That's why I mentioned that. If anybody knows of a site that is good for posting those things that won't get anybody in trouble, please feel free to share it.
Fish Room Fever would be great. Also, Rax, the community tankers. Is that what it's called?
River Life Community Tank.
Yeah. But he calls everybody the tankers, I think, or something like that. And he is a super nice guy, and everybody there is super cool. I mean, I even posted photos of my nephew when he first got born, and my dad when he had his open heart surgery, and nobody yelled at me. So,
right,
you'll be good there.
Guppy Guru says, just sold $100 worth of fish today and just bought $125. So all the money I get turns around to get more fun for the fish room. Absolutely. I spend a lot more than what comes in, but I'm happy to do it. And I appreciate everything that does come in. So I want to say my weekly thank you to the members, the Zen Ginger, Jess, the Shrimp Granny, MK Art, which, by the way, all of these people have YouTube channels of their own. So go check them out. I'm subscribed to all of them. Sand Creek Aquatics, Pet Zotics, Ginger Graves, Moonstone, Danikin Aquatics, Mr. Zen, Kaler's Aquatics, good old Bob, Multi-Tank Addiction, Sandy Dowdy, Tiffany White, Gina French, River Life, Don Cervantes, Lefty 3213A, my good buddy Chattanooga Ed, and our newest member from last week, HC Aqua. Thank you all for being members. You're very much appreciated.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody on that list is a cool person. And the only one that I think doesn't have a channel is Mr. Zen.
But he might one day. You never know. He might pop up to something, so I'm subscribed to him just in case.
I heard he's pretty good art, too. So
he is. Yeah.
Maybe he'll make an art channel for us. We do more than fish. Cappy can testify to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Nevaeh,
or we can talk.
Sorry. And several other people also confirm this, but Nevaeh's got me highlighted. It says 40 breeders, 44.5 gallons of Fish Room Fever. Okay. Thank you, Nevaeh, and the others that mentioned it as well.
Save me some time. Don't have to go measure it. But, I think that's pretty cool. It's bigger than a 40. It's actually a little bigger.
Okay, chat jumped, but I think I'm good now. If I did miss anything, please feel free to yell at me.
Maybe Guru would like a link thrown up so he can join. He would love as well. Maybe to, I bet you he's talking about the Fish Room Fever Facebook page, maybe.
I will. I'm sure Zen Ginger will beat me to any and all links. There's Zen throwing that up. Gina says, I don't have a channel. I just love the fish family. Yeah, I should have said just about everybody, but you know, Gina's an awesome person as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll get you into doing a channel. You know, there are a lot of people on there that didn't have channels at one point. You know, it's one of those things that one day you turn around and you're like, I just want to share my experience with people, and then more people find that and jump on board, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, people are enjoying what I'm doing, and I want to do some more of it. Tom Patterson says, need to start a fish fan band. I do not play any instruments and I don't sing, but I'll be happy to do security or something.
I can sing a little and I play the saxophone. I also play the piano. I can play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Mexican Hat Dance, and Little Brown Jug, I think. You know that song? I had to play the piano before my mom would let me play the saxophone when I was like in second grade. So sorry for doing that.
No, you're good. I was going to say Ed can sing more than a little. He's being modest.
Oh, how
7 hours, 7 hours in a car ride to Maryland. That's how I would know.
Oh.
But thank you, Zen Ginger, for all of those links. She posted the membership link as well as the Facebook link, the Instagram link, which if you're not following me on Instagram, go check that out. I have fun on there. I post a lot of pictures. I go live from time to time. I actually was lucky enough to, I got on Joey, the King of DIY, on his live on Instagram the other day. That was a blast. We'll see exactly what comes from that. And let me preface that with saying I don't disbelieve him or think that he was not true of his intentions, but I understand life gets in the way and you have plans to do projects and they just don't happen because so much comes up. But if it goes according to plan, he mentioned he wanted to have me in a collab video, just, you know, like a conversation about what I've got going on in the fish room and plants. So if that pans out, that'll be very, very cool. If not, hey, at least I got to hang out with him for a few in his live stream and show him my tanks.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. That'd be great exposure. Hey, Lady Griffith's here. How are you doing?
And DPK Fish Aquariums, haven't seen you in a while. A lot of people may not know because DPK has not been, I don't want to say present, but visible lately, if you will. DPK is actually the one that designed the Fish Room Fever logo. Says, hi, Fish Room Fever. Enjoying the stream while doing water changes, watching in the background. It's good to see you around lately. I hope you're doing well. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, please reach out and let me know. I appreciate you lurking while you're doing your water changes.
Yeah, DPK has helped a lot of people out with their logo. He's super talented. I had to ask him what program he uses and try to get that program. Just so I used to be pretty good at graphics and stuff when it was CorelDRAW and Photoshop 1 and 2, showing how old I am.
Right.
I don't even know what level Photoshop we are now, but yeah, my programs I can't even run the system anymore on my computer.
Yeah, so DPK says, I've been lurking a lot, brother. I understand that. That's why I wanted to say you haven't been visible, because I'm sure that you've been around. It's just a lot easier to lurk when stuff's going on than it is to say hi to everybody. So I can understand that.
Well,
there's your answer.
Ro just got some, I think, platies and swordtails yesterday at Wix. So she could also do the live bear competition, or not competition, but live bear month. What's it called?
Sorry, I got lost reading the chat. The Project Posilia. Is that what you were talking about? Hashtag Project Posilia.
Yeah, so Ro, you don't have to have guppies to do that.
I'm still working on a tagline, but the essence of it is growing and strengthening our community through a love of live bearers.
And I'm not going to sing tonight. I sing sometimes when I'm in a super good mood and it's really dorky. But I was singing I actually sang a little bit in Sand Creek's stream earlier this week. I couldn't help it. They get talking about Johnny Cash songs. So
Mr. Fisher asking where Miss Fever is. She's probably fallen asleep. I know she went to lay down and lurk in the stream. She was active earlier, but she wasn't feeling great. So she's probably passed out at this point. And then Ro asking what competition you're talking about.
It's not really a competition. We're all participating in a live bear celebration, live bear fish celebration. And every day in the month of May, we're going to take a photo of our live bears and post it, doing their fishy things.
That blurry camera, which is still not great, but that was bothering me. It's a little bit clearer now, though.
Look at that Flecko. He's not letting anybody have that Sarah tab.
Yeah, no, she wants that for herself. She's like, give it to me.
And now she's on it a little, but most of it, she's just sucking around it.
Yeah, which there's a lot. You can't see how much is sloughing off really on the camera. There's a lot sloughing off. So she's kind of inhaling mouthfuls of the particles that are falling off of it.
May starts 10 minutes ago.
Yes, we are in May.
Or an hour and 10 minutes ago for me. So, yeah. I was going to say, does April have 31 days or 30? And when I looked down, it was already May 1st. So I was like, I'm not going to mention that or ask.
So here's
still in April.
So here's what I'd like to do. If you would like to, when you post anything with the hashtag Project Posilia on it, you can either tag me on it, depending on the platform, or shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger. And I'll be glad to share that out if you would like. Again, as part of the community building aspect to get what you're doing in front of some more people. Because I know a lot of us, even though we're in the same circles, we have different audiences. You know, we may not all have the same subscribers. Or if you're a newer channel, you may not have a whole lot. We can get you out in front of more people. So, you know, like if you do a YouTube video and tag it and you let me know, I'll share your YouTube video on my community tab to help support you.
Guppy Guru must be in the mountain zone.
Yeah. So, we are kicking off the month of May full force with Project Posilia. I will be doing daily posts on my Instagram of different guppies and at least one video a week that is guppies, along with a couple other things that I have planned / partially filmed. Hello, Jim W. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Hey, Jim. Yeah, I've got my nice camera that I bought the lens for taking photos of guppies, and I haven't done it. So, and that thing, it's a Bluetooth. It has a Bluetooth thing, ability in the camera. So I should be able to Bluetooth the images to my laptop, right?
Should be able to. I don't know exactly what laptop you have, but I think you've got a newer one that you'd be able to do that on. Chevy Fishing, it does not have to be on Instagram. Whatever platform you want to do it on. I'm all over the place. Facebook, Instagram. I don't do a lot on Twitter. I have an account, but it wouldn't really get to many people. I think I've got maybe like 8 or 9 followers on Twitter, and I don't utilize it much. But I have one simply to hold on to the brand so somebody doesn't go on Facebook on Twitter and make a Fish Room Fever account and then post crap that it looks like I'm doing it.
I made a Twitter account once just to let the commissioner of the NFL know my opinions of him. Because he had a Twitter account, so I sent him an email or a Twitter once a day for about a month, and then I got tired, so I stopped. But I think the guy's a bum.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go for football sports on it.
No, you're fine, buddy. I was just rolling through the chat to make sure I hadn't missed anything. So we got some Montezuma swordtail talk. Beautiful fish there as well.
Maybe in June we could go through all of the photos of all the different live bearers and pick like a couple winners. And I mean, I don't know if we could get anybody to sponsor us, or maybe we'll just buy a couple ribbons at Michael's or something and mail them out or something. But that'd be kind of fun. Yeah.
I do like that.
Maybe we could do a couple different categories. Because I think that'd be fun. We'll have to have one central place to look at all the images. So could we do that on the Fisherman Fever Facebook page?
That would probably be the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, try and find everything that's been tagged on Instagram. We'll think about that, and we'll decide. We'll figure out something, and we'll kick that off next week on the first official stream on Ed's channel of the Nocturnal Feeding Show.
Yeah, we'll talk about it all week, and you guys can think up stuff, and we'll get together and work it out. That would be fun. Because I like to try to win ribbons. But I'll probably be not allowed if I'm the guy giving the ribbons out. Oh, well.
Big J Fish Keeper says, just posted a guppy summer tub video the other day, Fisherman Fever. I did see that.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember if it was tagged with our community hashtag or not, though, but I did see that.
This week has been just so crazy with all the different tanks I've been moving and just getting things set up. I've had to go grocery shopping twice for my folks. Everything's just been bam, bam, bam. So I haven't had much time to see people's videos like I'd like to. So I got to check out Big J's videos too. There's a whole bunch of people I like to watch.
I was hoping if I slid that light over, you can see the guppies a little better.
Zim said that Ed just wants to win another ribbon, and you're right.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ed said, I can set up a contest so I can win ribbons.
Oh, buy a really cool ribbon. With the guy with the hardest name to spell.
I think we could have some fun with that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe if anybody, we'll have to ask if anybody wants to donate or sponsor a category or something. I don't know. But I mean, I'd be willing to buy 20 ribbons or 10 ribbons or whatever, because we have to ship it, which might cost $3 or something. But
I think we can cover that.
Yeah.
So I do want to shout out. I just saw this pop up. Lefty3213A, who's been doing a lot of hashtag Project Facilia, posted on Instagram because Fisherman Fever asked me to. I went and took a couple new ones to go with. And then he's got some pictures of those beautiful fish that I sent you pictures of, Ed. Just the blues and the purples and the greens and those guppies is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
If you're a guppy nut like me and you're on Instagram and you're not following Lefty3213A, go do that. I guarantee it'll be worth it.
I want to make sure that I am. Yeah, there's so many people that I was up to that I don't know, like, how when you get notifications, I wonder if there's a way that if you're trying to click it to get off, or on your telephone, if there's a way that you can unsubscribe on accident. I'm trying to think who it was, but I was unsubscribed to them, and it was like, there's no way I would have unsubscribed to that person.
Guppy Guru says, I'm in to sponsor it. Dude, that would be awesome. I got your message just now and replied to you on Instagram. We're gonna have to talk more about that, and I think we could get
get some stuff going. I appreciate that very much. I think this is going to be fun. Thank you, Ed, for bringing that idea into it.
We'll just, if you want to sponsor an awesome looking logo for us, that'd be super cool. And where is our stupid thing? I'm trying to get on our or on the live stream, make sure that I'm a member of Lucky. There I am.
Ooh, sorry. Now I'm looking through Guppy Guru's Instagram while I'm live streaming. Shame on me. I'm a horrible host. But I do want to say, and I see that they're out of stock, but he's got a picture of some purple mosaic Dumbo-eared guppies. It's a trio. Those are absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna talk guppies with you and talk other things off camera when I'm not supposed to be entertaining the crowd, because now I'm going off on a tangent here.
Well, we ought to get him up and just interview him for an hour, and we can just talk guppies for an hour.
Ed, quit messing with my plans. No, that's I'm gonna talk to him. We're gonna work something out.
Oh, there he is.
Fishkeeper Cole says, just posted the plants on the River Life Community Tank Facebook page if anyone wants to help. So let me do this real quick. I can pull that up. Bear with me just 1 second.
That's awesome. You just posted that so we can all see it.
You want to run the chat for a second while I grab that for me, Ed, please?
Yep. Just a minute. I'm on Lefty's page. Hang on.
Zen Ginger says, I got the last purples from Guru at Fisher & Fever.
Oh my
Zen,
gosh.
if it was anybody else, I'd be upset, but I'm glad you got them. I expect a video from you now.
Everybody needs to go to Lefty and subscribe. He only has 20 subs, right? Well, now he has 21. So, too cool of a guy not to. His
Life Community
image has a whole bunch of pretty beta.
And if I may, I do want to say, let me see if I can find that post there from Cole. All right, there's Cole's post. So we're going to pull this up, but we're looking at the River Life Community Tank Facebook page. If you're not a member on there and you're on Facebook, go join up with him. Again, Rack is a huge supporter of the channel. He's been a huge supporter of me and my YouTube, I guess, career, for lack of a better word at the moment. He's also, again, the guy that kind of kicked off the whole Project Posilia thing. It was, his idea, his thinking. So let's support him, get him some more people on there. Let me click share screen real quick and bring this up so we can look at these plants.
There we go. Oh, then just pop the Lefty's page. If you guys could just take 1 second and click on that, it'd be so cool, because it'd be awesome to give somebody some subs and some love.
And yes, Lefty is about to start doing content. I wasn't going to say anything, but there was mention of a new GoPro earlier. So I'm looking forward to that. So here are the pictures from Cole. There's one.
Are you posting a link to it?
Well, no, I've actually got it pulled up on the screen so the chat could see it. If anybody in the chat can identify these plants, I figured that would be a good way to get an instant.
Okay, yeah, that's smart. But there we go.
And
see,
then
we're ahead of them.
I'm sure somebody will post the link for the River Life Community Facebook page. I've got so many windows open right now. I'm afraid I'm going to crash this laptop out if I do too much more. Guppy Guru says, Edna forever, got to hit the pillow. I work tomorrow. I need the rest. Excited to chat more with you both tomorrow. Guppy Guru, thank you, my friend. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you have a wonderful night and get you some sleep.
Yeah, night, man.
So if anybody can ID these for Cole, which I saw, Lefty says it almost looks like the Lubugia I had.
Dragon Layer said he was 3 times your age, James, but Chewy said that you're only 2 times his age.
Yeah, I'm 33. I know I look older than that, but I'm 33. Right, math is 2, 30. Yeah, I'll be 33 this year.
I wish I was 33.
I wish I felt 33, and I'll just leave it at that.
Oh man, I'm not on. I'm trying to make the screen bigger, and I'm not on YouTube. There we go.
There are several people. Thank you, Zen and Recon, for posting a link to the River Life Community Tank Facebook page. Y'all go support him. He's, like I said, a huge supporter to me personally and the channel. So least we could do for him.
Okay, so he is asking if what that plant is called right there. The stem.
He wants to know about that plant. And let me go back.
I have 3 of them downstairs. I could run and grab the little plastic thing out. But yeah, I've been like stocking up on plants, getting ready to do all my fish tanks. And so whenever I see something kind of pretty, I've been just buying it for the last while and getting ready. We'll see what I kill and what I don't kill. I've already killed one of these things.
Also, if you're somebody that's crazy enough, and God love you for doing it, for watching the replay and you're getting to this point, let us know in the comments below what you think the plant is. We'll get an answer to this.
Yeah, where's Priscilla?
Recon says I have 56 friend requests. Probably. Miss Fever was supposed to be running the Facebook page because I'm horrible on Facebook. But I'll go through and sort that after the stream.
Let's see. Oh, I'm on stupid Top Chat.
All right. So I'm going to pull this down off of here. I think we've gotten a good look. There we go. We're back.
Pugimus Maximus says Ludwigia.
Zen says kinda. Caps on the kinda. Looks like my Bacopa that died.
My Instagram is on private? What does that mean? People can't see my Instagram?
Okay, so I see Fisherman Fever, Priscilla ID the plant. Okay. Well, I don't have my live chat when I was doing that. I was trying to keep up with this horrible in StreamYard chat, and so I did miss that. My apologies. There we go. Now I have my live chat.
Well, I will try to figure out how to get my Instagram when I'm not live. Not private, because there's nothing private on my Instagram that I need to hide. I've got like a whole mess of people on there.
And I only have 50 pending friend requests.
Well, I'm terrible, folks. I've got probably 50 of them, but a lot of them are from my old job that I had. And I don't want to be answering work-related questions. I was the shop steward for over a decade. And so every time somebody gets fired and they're not happy with the outcome, they call me and or get in trouble. And I mean, I get it all the time. And like, I don't know if you guys remember, on one of my streams I was on last week, I forgot to turn my phone off and it started ringing. And a girl had been fired and she wanted me to help her. And it's like, oh, man, I don't even have the new contract. So, but that's the one thing I don't like about my Facebook is I have a lot of UAW people that are old friends of mine, but I don't want to answer questions. That's why I was using Rex thing to show, you know, like my nephew's baby and my dad's heart attack stuff, and I used the fish stuff.
Yeah, and Priscilla MKR did say it's 100% Ludwigia repens broadleaf. And I agree with Zen, who said, trust the lady from the fish store, Priscilla. Absolutely.
And Priscilla does a lot of plant growth or growing in her fish store. So she really does know her stuff.
Oh, yeah. If Priscilla says it, I believe it by default.
Yeah, I bought some plants in Nashville, and it was they told me that it was Anubias, because I love all different types of Anubias, and I know there's a bajillion different types. And I brought it home, and she said, "Yeah, that's not Anubias."
All right. So I don't know if Big J's going to stream tonight after we get done or not. I know he has in the past. If anybody is going to stream immediately after us, let us know. But we've come to our 2-hour mark. So real quick, I want to run through and say thank you to all the super chatters tonight. We've already said thank you to the members, but thank you again. The Zen Ginger with the $2 super sticker. Bob Kaler's Aquatics with the $1 super sticker. Lefty with the $2 super chat. Mr. Zen coming through with the $20 super chat, followed by Racket the River Life with the $10 super chat. And the Zen Ginger again with her $5 super chat. Guppy Guru with the $2 super chat. And Multi-Tank Addiction with the $2 super chat. Thank you all very, very much for those. Very much appreciated. Never required, but again, it does go into supporting the channel and helping us do more here. Thank you to everybody who showed up, all the people that asked the questions, answered the questions, participated. Of course, our phenomenal wall of moderators putting in all the hard work in the chat so Ed and I can almost possibly concentrate on what we're doing. Thank you all very much. To all the lurkers doing water changes, I hope you enjoyed tonight. I will turn it over to Ed, and then I'll do my customary goodbye.
Yeah, guys, thank you all for showing up. It was a lot of fun. You know, we do this just to talk fish stuff, and tonight was a great night. I love it when we get lots of fish questions, and Fish Keeper Cole, that was awesome, bringing up the plant. It's fun to talk fish, and I mean, I like talking movies and sports and everything else, but tonight was a really fun night. It makes the time fly when you get to talk about something you love, and thank you all for coming and participating. Super cool. Next week, we'll be on my channel, and that'll be different, but the same. So just keep coming and don't stop. And James will be having still 2 different streams during the week. Hopefully, he'll have one on, can I say on Monday?
Yeah.
Hopefully, he should have one on Monday. And we'll definitely be doing one this Saturday at 7:30 Central or 7:30 Eastern with Fish Gal.
Yep.
So hopefully we see you guys all there. And thank you again. Over to you. And thanks for everything, because you guys did just kill it tonight. You were great.
Absolutely. Thank you all again. Nobody is going immediately after us that I see. So what I would ask you to do is pick one of these wonderful channels that's in the chat. Go watch one of their videos. Maybe you'll find somebody you haven't seen before. Until next time, thank you all very, very much. Keep your fish healthy, keep yourselves healthy, and catch yourself a little fish room fever. Bye, everybody.